Welcome. You are now tuned in with Eyesonpodium podcast. I'm here with my bros. I think Henny fixing his shoes. I don't know what he
Why would I
doing.
wear shoes? I'm at home.
You're right. I don't know what you doing.
What kind of podcast you think we running here?
I don't know, but I am HB the Realtor. To the left of me is Coach Chris. To the right of me is Henny. It's Eyesonpodium podcast.
We in the building.
Like, comment, subscribe. Keep the party rolling. We here. Live episodes coming soon this summer. This season.
What? The summer? Yo, what?
Summer's over, brother.
I'm about to be the MC.
We in September. Listen,
Summer
I'm
is
excited
over.
for this upcoming season. We got like 2 weeks before training camp. I'm super excited about
Yes,
what's
sir.
to come. Let's tap
need some
into
basketball
it.
immediately.
Need some basketball. Let's tap into it.
I don't read no comments. I don't care what they say. Time and place, we can talk about it. Last night I was wildin'. Made 2K over 2K. It's a new day and I'm back to problem. Bank account be crowded. By next June, need 5 rooms, soundproof. Watch them doubt it. Hey, they try to talk me out of it. I done wasted some greatness just sitting there trying to think about it. I go John Moran, give all of my homies rollies. I'm a hot pig, rolling with me, gon' be low key. Best believe it's more of us, but today I'm.
Yep. This ain't a Knicks podcast, but we're gonna start with the Knicks tonight.
Sounds delicious.
New York Knicks' biggest impact player. Who's that one player who's gonna take the Knicks over the top this season? They finished in the second round. Obviously, they're gonna have bigger expectations to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, who's gonna be that impact player that's gonna be able to do that? What you got, Henny? Tee us off.
It has to definitely be RJ, right? Because he's right there. He's right there. And when I say he's right there, he's right there. He's in the position to be a star in the making, or he's in the position to just be a regular role player. And what the Knicks need is just a star to just send them over the top. Just a reliable. When I say star, I mean just a consistent scorer at a high level. Not necessarily a name, So a person that can score at a high level, like a bucket when you need it, like somebody to worry about. And it's not even to have the ball in your hands, but to be a threat to space the floor, to be like, okay, I got to guard him at the 3. This opens up more shots for others. That's a star who generates others and changes how other teams play against them to help his teammates. So I feel like RJ has to be the biggest impact player. He has to take a 3 steps forward, because we've been waiting for this for a minute. So he has to take 3, not once, 3. I need him to take 3 steps to get to that conference finals.
I think RJ is one of the most polarizing players on the Knicks team for Knicks fans. He's always being compared to Zion and Ja, and what he's not. So I'm sure there's many people who feel the same way you feel, in the sense of RJ got to take the next step. You know what I mean? Like, but even if RJ do take the next step, I think people still gonna want more from him in his third string role. You know what I mean? His third fiddle role. Who you got? Who you guys in the biggest impact player to take the Knicks over the top next season, Chris?
So for me, it'll be Emmanuel Quickly. Right. I would love to see Emmanuel Quickly take on, a bigger role next year. I would like to see his role increase. I'm rooting for him to be in the starting lineup. He plays on both sides of the ball. He's proven to be a starter last year. Brunson was out. He's led the team in multiple games and had huge games. He made big contributions to big wins last season when Brunson couldn't play, and he's proven that he could take on that role. Like, he's proven he can score. He's proven he can facilitate. He's proven he can be a lockdown defender. I just feel like you could slide him into that role, and as he continues to get better every year, he could be the answer for the Knicks for being that other scorer. You know, if you wanna look out and just keep your core and keep those guys together, keep the chemistry, keep the camaraderie, and keep it growing, and then you add one of those big pieces later on or in the next year or two, you could just add on instead of trying to take away. I think he's a piece that is going to be very, very important going into next season.
So they won 47 games last year, right? How much wins do you think Emmanuel Quickly, if he plays like the player that you are projecting that you or hoping that he would end up becoming or playing, like, how many more wins do you think they get?
Barring health, I could see them getting 50 wins. 50 plus wins, 52.
So you think he adds 3 more wins?
I think he can.
3 to 5 more wins?
His role increasing. I'm just saying barring health, right? Because you got to always you always got to factor in the health, right? You lose some games because of health, right? Something goes wrong, you might have a little skid here and there. So I'm just saying, with how well, and Julius had Iron Man year last year until the end of the year.
Quickly play 81 games.
Right. So you have those are like they're Iron Man players. They contributed and were playing every single night. You know, so if they have another year like that with a little more health from Brunson and some of the other companies.
Oh, you just
I can see. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other players we have on the Knicks, I think, along with their play and their health, I think you could get to 52 wins.
So that's has something I guess you were talking about win shares. So what win shares is like, so say if a team wins 60 games, there's 180 win shares to distribute among the team, which you're worth. So the Knicks won 47. I ain't gonna sit here and do the math, but I'll tell you that Quickly is accounted for 6.7 win shares, a part of that. And win shares, you get that stat from your defense, your offense, and how many times you win, obviously. So
I mean, Quick is definitely a two-way player. I think he solidified himself as a player that who's a really good elite off-ball defender, and really good on-ball defender. But talking about two-way play, my Nick that I think that's gonna make the biggest impact is going to be Dante. It has to be Dante, right? He's just Dante is replacing Obi. Obi played 9 minutes a game last year. 11 minutes a game. He's not really giving you much. A couple energizing plays here and there. He stretches the floor. But Dante, he's gonna be playing 20 minutes a game. Where you gonna find those minutes, I don't know. But at that point, you're gonna probably have to move Josh Hart to the 4. RJ is gonna have to play the 4. I think because of that, that's gonna make RJ better. He's probably gonna be able to play more consistent, be able to play more of a open floor game. So I feel like in numerous ways it's gonna be Dante, because other plays is gonna get better because he's on the court, spacing the floor. So my biggest impact player is gonna be Dante DiVincenzo. How you say his last name? I can't do it.
Take your time.
I'm just not
DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo for the 3. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. We was talking about a star, and they've been linking a lot of stars to the New York Knicks, right? And I think that we all could agree the untouchable player on the New York Knicks is probably one, and that would be the one Jalen Brunson. I think we could agree on that.
Yeah.
Jalen
For sure.
Brunson, untouchable. Okay, so who you've heard Donovan Mitchell being linked again? You've heard Joel Embiid being linked because of the Leon Rose and what's going on in Philly. It's an ish show over there. You have Giannis being linked. Like who do you guys think will fit best with Jalen Brunson? Like who's that guy? Kenny, who you got?
I mean, I can't put a 2 guard next to Jalen Brunson. You know, another guard next to Jalen Brunson, especially Donovan Mitchell, who takes the ball out of Darius Garland's hands. You know, I mean, we've seen Jalen Brunson be effective without the ball, but we also seen him being super effective with the ball. So
that's a fact.
So I would have to go big, and it just has to be Giannis. If we're talking about fit, they're perfect. He can back him up, you know, right behind him, play the front court. Jalen Brunson playing the back court, and that pick and roll is just going to be disgusting. The way his footwork is going crazy. I would love to see that.
See, I would then think about Giannis is not really a good shooter.
Right.
And he operates in the paint. And Jalen
Correct.
Brunson operates in the paint as much as Giannis. Like his numbers are literally right next to Giannis. Right? So the floor spacing, does that even
Absolutely
work?
not.
I feel like the
Absolutely
attitude
not.
works. The attitude works. The moxie that they would have together will work. Will possibly make it work. But for me, it will have to be Joel Embiid. Even though obviously with Joel Embiid, you're talking injuries, you're talking a short window, right? He's about to be 30, right? He done missed like the first 2 years of his career and then missed another 40, 50 games in the middle of it. So like it's obviously going to be injuries, but barring injuries, I feel like the pick and pop game of Joel, I feel like they will work really well together. And then I feel like he will make other players on the Knicks better. You know what I mean? He'll make anybody better, just Joel Embiid. But for that reason, I think, you know, Jalen Brunson and Joel Embiid will probably be the best fit. I would rather have over Donovan Mitchell and Giannis.
But
Who you got?
I agree. Sorry, I agree with you. Just as a Knicks fan, him being 30 and being injury prone, having players come to the Knicks past their prime is just a thing I fear the most.
And Giannis is
I
younger.
fear that the most. Yeah.
Giannis is younger than Joel.
I would want to say him, but he just comes with a lot of other stuff. You know, Giannis, I know he's gonna work hard.
Right.
I know you know that's my big thing. I need you to play hard. I don't care if you don't score. I need you to play hard. That's why I loved Obi, because he played hard with the 2 minutes he got.
Right.
And so that's why I wouldn't go with Joel. Not to say that he's not a hard worker, it's just to say his body don't keep up with him.
Right. Who you got, Chris?
So for me, I would still have to go with Giannis. I understand the whole spacing issue, but again, back to Henny's point, my biggest thing is that it's just the energy and effort that you're gonna get from Giannis on a night-to-night basis, right? I think that with Tibbs, Giannis is a perfect player for Tibbs, right? You're not gonna get the attitude, right? You're not gonna get the drama,
right?
You're just gonna get someone that's gonna come in and try to be the best player in the world.
Right.
Literally every single night, give you that 100% effort every single night.
Right.
He's a champion already, right? Who's to say what comes with Giannis can't come with other construction of the roster?
That's true.
Right?
I mean, that's true.
Because right now he's not a shooter, but you just feel it. You would just have to construct a roster where you could get a 5 that can spread the floor and shoot. Right? Just to create that spacing for Giannis and Brunson, right?
To operate.
Just to be able to operate. And who would want to build around Giannis and Brunson? I feel like that's a dream come true. Just the two of them together, I think Giannis is already an unstoppable force. He's extremely dominant. He's physical. I feel like he'll be perfect for the Knicks culture.
Right.
He's a fans love him.
Yeah,
I just feel
they
like
will love him.
I
Yeah.
just feel like Giannis
He
would be
won't
that
do no
player.
wrong in New York.
He would bring the Knicks to a level that the Knicks have not been at in a long time. Like
Yeah, for sure.
with a different type of energy
I
with
totally
For
agree.
sure.
I
his
think
effort.
he's a quintessential. Look, there's a word.
Ooh, take it. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, went crazy. They ain't gonna be able to spell that one on the Eyesonpodium shorts. But I think he's the perfect player for New York City. I feel like the team, the city will love Giannis. They will
Mhm.
love him.
Embrace him.
They will embrace
Embrace him.
him. You know what I mean? He's the anti Julius. He's the
And
complete
you
opposite.
and you just know, and as a fan, right, having him come in, you already know what to expect, right?
Mhm.
It's like when you look at other players, everybody else we look at the list, right, that we've just spoke about. You look
Right.
at that player coming in and you say, I don't know, because they might come with this.
Right.
They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. Giannis, you plug him right in, and he's going to be effective and bring wins
Efficient.
immediately.
Yep.
Immediately.
Efficient.
And that's what you want. He's willing to learn. He's willing to sacrifice. Giannis is going to do whatever it takes to win. That's
Mhm.
exactly the
Absolutely.
kind of player you need.
That is exactly the kind of player you need. Someone who's gonna be able to do everything, anything, dive on the floor,
Block shots.
block shots. That's
Yeah.
that right there is the player that Henny wants Julius Randle to be.
That's it. Just play on both sides.
Just play
with
on
heart.
both
That's it.
sides.
And it takes me back to when Giannis was in the finals. And he blocked that alley-oop from Ayton.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
And then get a dunk
Yeah.
on the
Like
other
that's
end.
just pure
Yeah.
right. That's just pure energy and effort. And
That's it.
those are players
Heart.
that win you a championship. Like that's what sticks out, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Like that's what sticks out in that from him winning that championship. Those plays like
I
that,
think-
and that's what he'll bring to the culture.
Right. I think Joel lacks that. Not to make this a Joel Giannis debate, but I think Joel lacks that just that one tick, that effort, the
motor.
second
It's the
chance,
motor.
He brings it
motor.
right. It's the motor, right?
Right.
He brings the energy at times, right? You see Joel crowd getting into it, and he'll block a big shot, but it's like it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giannis is nonstop foot on the gas all game,
Yeah.
every play until the buzzer sounds,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that is what you want.
Yeah.
Someone who's not going to give up.
Right. We'll see what happens in 2 years.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but listen, it might be next year.
In between,
next year.
in between. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know they make a big move. You never know.
You right. You right. Well, I mean, they might make a big move. If they make a big move next season, then that means somebody got to get traded. And at this point, we got to ask the question: which Knicks player has most at stake coming up this season? Right? Like, who has the most to lose? Who has to show out, or they're done? Like, who is it? Like, who is it that is like, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like if they don't show the expectations, if they don't meet expectations, they're not going to be here next off season. They're going to be a part of that big trade. What you got, Henny?
So you know how I always say it. You gotta do it more than once. Zion, you got to do it more than once for you to be a star in my eyes, and it has to be Jalen Brunson because if he has anything but a bad season, you know how the Knicks fans are. You know how the Knicks they will turn on you. They will turn on you in an instant. And Jalen Brunson has to bring it this year. He cannot have nothing less than a spectacular season because this is we did this. We did this to him. That comes with being a player for the Knicks.
That is true.
We create these narratives of players that are undervalued around the league, I guess, because if you look at these mock trades, we're giving up so many other players for stars or whatever the case may be. But it has to be Jalen Brunson. He has a lot in stake because we deemed him our guy. We deemed him our guy, and he has to show out now.
So if you feel like if he don't, what's your expectations for him? What he got to do? What?
I mean,
In your book, accolades wise, I'm asking.
Accolades wise,
Yeah. What would you expect from him this season?
I would at least be I would want him to be at least in the all-star reserves, at minimum. All-star reserves, because I mean,
So
just
you want him to be an all-star?
And I felt like he deserved it last year.
Yeah, right. And I don't want it because I do feel like he deserved it last year, but also not getting it. Also, he started turning up.
Work.
Yeah, he started turning up.
Yeah.
So I still want him to have that hunger, you know. So I
Started
would want him to be
early.
at least be an all-star, because I think in my books, I think he's either one or two as top point guards in the East.
Right.
There's no more Kyrie, so there's a space for point guards. Harden is about to leave. Harden, in my books, maybe you can argue number one point guard in the East right now, but if he goes, it's up in the air, and it's for him to take. So I would say all-star at minimum, at least an all-star.
Minimum an all-star. Chris, who's your well, before we talk about your player that's at stake, what's your opinion on what Kenny just said, like, about his expectations for Jalen Brunson?
Oh no, I'm not mad at it at all. You expect for him to get better. Yeah, right. He's leading the charge, right? We expected a big difference when he signed with the Knicks, right? So he did it 1 year, right? And we don't expect just one.
Right.
We need consistency, right? We're looking for so you can't show us something and then be like, because then we're gonna just think it's a right. You just had a good season,
Exactly.
and you just conned us, right?
Yep.
So I could agree with Henny's point. I could go with Henny's point. See where you go. Well, I see why he would say that. Because if he does not have a good season, yeah, he will be on that back tail of the Knicks. Like
Say that again. Say that again.
I say he will be on the back end of the Knicks fans list.
It's so funny because the Knicks created Julius Randle, and now they hate him. They treated him like the scene from Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore.
But I honestly don't see it happening with Brunson. I think he's a leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He changed the whole dynamic of the Knicks team. He brings so much to the table that I just don't see going away. He has a good attitude. It's not like worried about the little things with Jalen.
Right.
We're just worried about. I think for me, the most thing I'm worried about is health. Like, I just need him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I feel like if he's healthy, he'll produce.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So
it's a low chance of happening, but
right. Yeah, I see why you say it. I'm just saying I just don't, and you feel the same way. We don't see it happening, but anything's possible, right? We've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen before.
Right.
So my player is gonna be it's gonna be RJ Barrett. You know, I've stressed so much about him getting better every season, and I just think he needs to work on how to be efficient, right? He can't continue to go out there and just put up these numbers and just be inefficient every year, right? It's kind of looking like MC Stats. It's like you just out there putting up shots and just hoping they go in, and I'll just live with whatever I average, but it don't really look good when you look at the stats, right? It's not like it's back in the day, right? So it's a much quicker pace.
Yeah, efficient.
Yeah. You have high efficiency.
Efficiency is key.
Right? More spacing. You have more room to get to the rim, right? You don't have the traditional bigs that just sit down there anymore.
Well,
everybody's spaced up.
He has Mitchell Robinson. So
he does.
That's the devil advocate's argument for RJ. It's like, yo, give him Miles Turner. Give him a stretch five. They're clogging up the paint. You know what I mean? Like the thing with
He has
RJ,
to figure it out, bro.
I don't
You gotta
feel like
figure it out.
I feel like his offensive game. I mean, could it be better?
RJ, look.
Yes. Could it be better?
Mhm.
Yes. But I prefer RJ to be better at playmaking. I feel like if he's a threat to help someone else score as well as himself, it will make him more efficient. Right? If he was more of a little, if he just was able to turn on that playmaking attribute, because I mean, he only get assists to Mitchell Robinson, right? They do a pick and roll, they do a side pick and roll,
Do
whatever,
alley.
from the wing, and he comes on, he gets the alley, he throws a. That's it. Once or twice a game, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right, but that goes into a big aspect of his game because teams pick up on that very quickly. They know when he's coming around the
Yeah.
corner. He
They
ain't
watch
looking for
numbers.
nobody. He ain't looking for nobody. Right. So you have to RJ Barrett has to learn how to make everybody else a threat on his team. Right. You
Mhm.
can't sit there and come around the corner and they like, we don't gotta sit on him because we already know
Yeah.
he going left, going to the basket, he's trying to finish with his. That's what he's trying to do.
Right.
Right.
And
And if you
RJ
go to the right, he's probably gonna pull up.
And he probably gonna spin back left.
Yeah, or spin back left. Like it's.
I think.
So-
Hold on. I think like the whole he don't have a right hand thing is overblown, only because we're so used to seeing right-handed players, but a lot of right-handed players don't go left. So I feel like
Right.
it's the same. Like Jaylen Brown, he just got the biggest contract in NBA history, and he don't go left. Right. So it's like, okay, cool. RJ don't go right. Right. He don't go right. That's his game. He don't go right. Jimmy Butler don't go left, right? He don't go left. He don't. Cool. But he's efficient and great at the other things that he does that it makes it difficult to guard him. So I feel like, and I know you're not saying anything to contrary to this, but him being a playmaker, him being that Brandon Ingram for the team, looking for his teammates, you know what I mean? Getting Grimes an extra 2-3 shots a game. Grimes is a 38% 3-point shooter, guarding the best player on the other team 90% of the time. He's one of the top on-ball defenders in the NBA, right? So get him some shots. Get him some shots too. It's gonna help. It's gonna help you. When you're driving to the lane and they're forced to go guard Quentin Grimes in the corner.
Right. So I was gonna say, even though people can't go left, and they're right-handed dominant, they're still efficient with their right hand. So that's probably the problem.
RJ's efficient with his left hand. That's why he always go left.
Now overall, he's not efficient though.
He's not an efficient player. No.
Right.
He's not.
Exactly. As a
he
total,
throwing the ball at the rim.
Right. As a total. So that's what separates this left hand, right hand. He can't go the opposite hand narrative, whatever. And having I feel like trading for a stretch big, we would say, to help RJ, it's not a good investment as of yet because he hasn't proven he's a good investment. And giving away a top 5 center for just a regular role player, that's what he's trending, quote unquote, regular role player. It's not worth the investment,
I think RJ has proved that he's worth the investment. I feel like he's played he was in the playoffs. He showed out in the playoffs, right? The first 2 games that he played against the Cavs, he didn't have a good offensive game, but he played great defense. After that, he didn't have another bad game until the elimination game in Game 6 in the Heat, right? All the playoff games, the playoffs is when you want to see it happen, right? Not just the regular season.
Yeah.
The regular season.
Yeah.
Right?
Without a doubt.
And he showed out in the playoffs. He was a bona fide two-way.
He broke even for the season. He broke even
What do you
he
mean
showed
he
out.
broke even?
He had a bad subpar season, and then he ended off with being the second best player on the Knicks in the playoffs. So he broke even.
I think he proved that he's worth the investment. I think he's proved that he's worth an investment.
there's more RJs in the world than there are Mitchell Robinsons.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I get why they wouldn't invest in building. That's because you getting rid of you getting a stretch big that now
that
you're
helps
building
Julius
around
too,
RJ. I totally understand,
and that
but
helps Jalen Brunson probably the most.
To his
yeah,
credit,
I
though, he was
agree.
more efficient this year than he was last year.
RJ. I
Yeah,
mean,
you get better every year.
he does get better every year.
No, but he
Might even
highest field goal percentage.
good thing you cut out.
His highest field goal percentage was in 2020, 2021. Dropped off
Mm.
year after that. And he got close to it, but he didn't get there back to 2020. This year. He was at 44% from the
Oh wait, I didn't even answer the question. For my player, my next player who's most at stake will have to be Quentin Grimes. I think Quentin Grimes is on the third year. He's going to his third year. He's going to his third year, and he's at this point he's a luxury, right? Him and Quickly are luxuries with Dante. Help me out, Dante
DiVincenzo
being there, right? Like him and
Mhm.
Josh Hart make it so those two players can be traded in a trade together with someone else to go get a star because you have Josh Hart and you got Dante. That's Quentin Grimes and Quickly, right? They don't provide the same exact things, but they both provide winning, right? They both provide winning. They do things that will win you games and win you playoff games and playoff series. So I think Quentin Grimes is that guy. If he don't show out this year, if he don't really be a consistent bona fide 3-and-D, I think Tibbs should definitely run some plays for him. 100%. At least a
I
pin
got a
down.
question. Do you think Grimes had a bad season this year?
No, I don't think he had a bad season. I mean, he started off. He didn't have training camp. He was hurt. He was injured, and then 12 games in the season or 20 games in the season, he ended up coming back, and then we went on a run. We literally went on a run.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way he could have a subpar.
He could have a subpar season, right? Or he may not take the next step. May get benched, right? Because if you look at it, he's the one spot that you're gonna take. They're not gonna bench RJ, right? So they're gonna if you're gonna bench anybody, it's gonna be Grimes. It's not RJ. It ain't Julius. It ain't Jalen, right? So it's gonna be Grimes,
and I think Hart's gonna play.
and Hart is gonna play.
Hart is solid. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. It's gonna be a 3-man rotation between Hart, RJ, and Julius. That's what that's the 3 that's gonna rotate in and out.
Oh, the 4 position.
For that, yeah, for the 4-3 position. That's just going to be that. I think Hart is safe, but with the guard, I feel like Grimes he's a 3-and-D, and that's just so hard to find in the NBA. It's like, yeah, we got DiVincenzo.
Yeah, you got DiVincenzo.
But quickly, we need him to be a backup playmaker. We don't need him to start. DiVincenzo, we haven't even seen what he did yet. Yeah, he has a good history, but let's see. Show me something.
What? I hate that take. What do you mean? Show me something.
Show me. What you mean?
History. Show me something.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, he was. Everybody, have you not seen what he did for Golden State?
Yeah, he was solid.
Right. That's
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Show me that you can do that here in a different system. It's easy when people are guarding Curry, Clay, and Wiggins. It's easy to come in and do what you got to do.
He's been consistent throughout his career. He was good with the with Sacramento. And he was good with the Bucks when he got hurt in the playoffs and they ended up winning the championship. But he got hurt in the playoffs. He was going to be a part of that championship run. It probably would have made it a little easier if you had Dante out there. So I mean, I agree with you. We have to see it because it hasn't been done yet. However, I feel like we know
if he's so good, he would have been signed. If he's so good, he would have been signed. He would have been signed again.
What do you mean? He
sounds like
get signed.
It sounds like he moved. Sounds like he moves a lot. That's what I'm saying. Just show me. Show me. Prove
Yeah,
to me.
but
That's
he's
it.
not. You're saying it. You're saying it as if he's moving or getting traded because he's not good. He got traded from the Bucks to Sacramento because he got hurt and he was playing well though. But he got Sacramento. He was playing well. He got the contract to go play with the Wizards. I mean the Warriors, and then now he just got the bag with the Knicks, deservingly.
All I'm saying is show. All I'm saying is show me. Ain't nothing wrong with
He's
showing
playing
me.
his contracts though. Not like he's getting bounced around.
Yeah, it's not like he's
He's
like,
getting traded. Then he's signing.
Are they offering him again though?
Yeah, the Knicks just offered him four for 50.
I'm saying the team that why didn't Golden State?
The Warriors
offer
ain't
him?
got no
have
money to
enough
offer
money to
him.
offer him.
Money offer him.
They ain't have enough money to offer him.
You could still offer.
If the Knicks can give me more money, I'm gonna go to the Knicks.
Yeah, I got.
Agreed, but you can still offer.
Okay, so
They-
they
this is-
offer.
I'm
is what I
sure they
got.
made
This
him.
is what I
I'm
got
sure
for
they
you.
made him an offer though. I'm sure they made him an
Don't
offer.
know.
It probably just
We'll
wasn't
never
up to
know.
his up to his
Bro, just
up to his likings.
it just be.
We'll never know.
We never know.
We know he signed though.
We know he signed though. We know he signed for a big number.
Good. So let's see what happens. Not ready to give him a 3-and-D player spot.
I mean, that's what he's been. That's what he's been.
I'm not saying that's not what he's been. I'm just saying I'm not going to give him a 3-and-D spot off.
what
Off
he's been.
what?
And he
No,
played.
you don't
and
make
he
sense.
played.
Grimes has been.
And he
Grimes has
played
been solid for
72
us.
games last year.
Yeah, you don't. That don't make sense. You're not gonna give him a.
72
You're not gonna
games.
give him the credit that he worked for because he hasn't done it on a team. That
I
you're
never
rooting
said
for.
anything about. I never said
72
anything about
games.
credit. You want him to
72
move.
games.
You want him to take Grimes' spot.
I didn't say that. I don't want him to take Grimes' spot. I'm just saying
You did. You
It
did
could
say
happen.
that.
it could happen.
said it
Though.
could
I don't
happen.
want him to do it, but
said
it could
happen.
definitely happen.
72 games, shooting 39% from
What are you saying? It could
three.
definitely
From
happen.
three. He shot 39% from three.
So let me ask you a question:
We'll
If
see.
if Leon Rose is like, yo, we're gonna trade quickly Grimes, RJ
Mhm.
for Giannis, you gonna say what?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay. And what makes it easy for you to say yes is that you know you have Dante and Hart to fill those roles. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So segue from that, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are one of the best duos in the NBA. Top ISO players. They're like, I think they were like number 4 and number 2, something like that. Top 5 ISO players in the NBA. They were number 2 as far as like duos or whatever the case may be, and counting stats or whatever the case may be. But going forward next season, there's a bunch of different duos. Where do you think Julius and Jalen rank amongst those, or who are your favorite duos entirely? Just either or. Hey, Chris, take us away. Man.
So top duo probably go Braun and have them.
Are you tripping out?
Sorry, I would have them around 1.
You have Braun
And
and
I would
AD as the number 1 duo in the NBA?
Except
Because of their off season. Because of their off season, I think they could be the top duo in the NBA.
Okay, I mean it's the upcoming season.
Yeah. Then I would have to look at obviously Steph and Clay. I got to look at Booker and KD. They could potentially be the top duo. KD, but I just feel like their team is not well rounded for them to be that personally. And when I say top duos, I will be comparing it to win. You would have to be winning.
Yeah, of course you got to be winning.
Right.
Jamal Murray, Jokic.
Jamal Murray, Jokic. Yeah, that one is up there. These are all duos I would put ahead of the Knicks duo.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Fox, Sabonis. Who you got, Henny? Jump in this.
I that's basically I think the number one on paper. I would say I got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker number one. Next, then I got Joker Murray. Then I got LeBron, AD. Then I mean I would have had if they stay together, Joel and James Harden.
They gonna
If
stay together.
healthy, if
Wow.
healthy, Paul George
and
and
Kawhi.
Kawhi. Jason Tatum. You got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I would then go Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
Before you get to Julius and Jalen.
Yeah.
I put Julius and
That
Jalen
is
over.
so crazy to me.
They beat them last year in the playoffs. I gotta put them over.
People
Fine.
like they didn't just get beat in the playoffs. The Knicks didn't just beat the Cavs. They dominated them. And then there's still skeptics
Yeah.
out there who are putting the Cavs over the Knicks. How? It don't make
Yeah,
no sense.
I have that the Knicks duo over the Cavs duo.
Like, it don't make sense.
I just do they just
What
have
about Kyrie? What about Kyrie and
ceiling.
Luka?
Nah, no hope.
Kyrie and Luka is crazy. Kyrie said he coming back crazy. MVP Luka?
What about Dame and Jimmy?
They're not even together.
They're not even
Stop
together.
it.
Stop
it. Please don't start this conversation. Tired of it. Go find somewhere to play basketball. Not here.
Not here.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, Dame Dollar's not coming. I mean, he should go to Brooklyn. I keep saying it. Go to Brooklyn.
And ask for a trade to Miami. He says he want to go to a trade to Miami.
Nah, he gonna go wherever he gonna go and play.
Wherever he want to go, he's asking for a trade to Miami. That's what
the
stated.
new player policy. Kill all that noise. The new player policy. You can't do all that. You can't just sit out. You can't do that.
What about
What about who?
Oh, Drew Holiday, Giannis.
Nah.
I
don't think that. I think Giannis. I don't know. I don't know.
He said Giannis just gets it by himself.
Yeah, that's Drew Holiday is good, but I mean, I guess
Drew Holiday is cold.
He is
offensively too. He gets to anywhere he wants. He's really a 3-level scorer. It's kind of crazy.
Everybody talks about his defense
because his defense is even more elite than his offense. But his offense is crazy.
He got moves. Not gonna deny it.
What about Ant and Cat?
Wake up, Mr. West.
What about John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr.? Who would you take, Ant or Cat, or John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Probably Ja.
I'll take Ant.
Jaren Jackson.
I think Ant is going to be the best player in the NBA soon.
Overrated. You got to win.
Yeah, True. Right. That's why I'm going with Ja. They win. They win.
I would agree with you if it wasn't Minnesota. Minnesota do not know what they're doing. I think they have a 5-year-old in the front office who's just clicking buttons, accepting everything, don't know how to run an organization at all.
Trade over.
They don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they're playing my GM upstairs and just doing what players they think that look good. They don't know what they're doing over there. And that's not their fault. That's not the players' fault. I'm not blaming the players for that.
Okay.
I got one for Henny. Like this. Zion and Ingram.
Ooh.
Pass. Show me something. A dude hasn't played in 3 years. 3 years. And we're talking about him being a top duo because of what he did his freshman year, his rookie year. That's all we all talk about. Oh, but when he played, Oh, okay. I'm good.
He gonna play this year.
Play 2 years.
His GM, he played 2 years. His GM said he's been in the gym more than he's ever been.
They say that every year. Every year he's been doing this more than ever. He's
They
been
get you
losing
so
weight. He's been eating
excited to the
right.
point that you draft Zion 3rd round, 2nd round in your fantasy, and then first week you see the O next to his name. You just like,
See, the only positive sign I take from that is Zion starting to take accountability for his unhealthy habit.
in
Right?
public.
You heard him in public, right? He publicly stated, like, I never really took my health seriously, right? And dieted and was really in the gym and dedicated time for my body.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he regrets it because look at the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
just seeing him being able to take accountability for it so early in his career, but clearly it's because of the lack of being able to court.
Yeah.
Right.
But seeing him take accountability, I think that's a good sign for him. I'm not saying obviously possible. I ain't saying he.
Right.
I just hope he's more on the court this year than all. That's all I can.
I'm no dietitian, but his body type, his genetics, he can gain weight very, very fast. But he can also gain muscle even faster if he just puts a little bit of effort. He don't put no effort in. Just a little bit.
Like he put in effort now.
We'll see. He does this every year. Every year, and they Photoshop that picture of him working out. It's never
He
a
didn't do
video.
that
It's
last year. He ain't take
it-
accountability last year.
I'm talking about the Photoshop picture that the Pelicans always post. It's like an annual thing. It's like it's a holiday.
They actually last year they didn't even put him on the poster.
Good. It's not enough space.
They put, don't do that. Now you don't fat shame on here. Don't get canceled
I'm
now.
not fat shame. I could fat shame. I'm fat. I could fat shame.
Yeah. But I'm not even gonna keep going with that one. I'm just gonna leave like what James Harden tried to do, but he can't.
That boy is stuck.
He ain't going nowhere. He's stuck. I think the AD and Braun combo, the AD and Braun combo is intriguing. They got a whole new roster. They revamped their whole roster. I feel like half the season.
Yep.
Kind of remind us of that year that when LeBron had got Isaiah Thomas, that Kyrie trade, and then they traded everybody in that February and ended up going to the finals, beating the Boston Celtics in 7. Young Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
When
he made a mistake and dunked on LeBron.
Dunked on LeBron.
And it was over because Boston Celtics, they lose at home since he dunked on them. That record was over.
Yeah, because they didn't lose at home, and then they ended up losing at home that time. But
yeah,
AD and Braun, man, I feel like this is the best chance they got this year right now with this roster. I feel like Rob Pelinka he did an amazing job.
Right.
We were killing him last year about the roster that he put together going into this season. He has young players, Vanderbilt, Rui, Austin Reeves. They got really young, but they got core really good young players that can play with vets like AD and Braun. Christian Wood sliding in at the 5. AD said he wants to play the 4. Let's see if it works. Let's see if they're really gonna, fold to what AD is saying. Maybe they would just, before he signed the contract, they were saying, yeah, we'll do it, and then actually they won't. Darvin won't do it, but that roster looks amazing. I feel like the Lakers is gonna be a force to reckon with. They just gotta stay healthy. Obviously, they're gonna be a force. That roster looks amazing. Yeah. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, this is honestly one of the deepest rosters.
Say that again.
I said this is probably one of the deepest rosters we've ever seen LeBron have in his career. From top to bottom, the Lakers have depth, they have size, they got wings, they got defenders. This is LeBron's last dance right here.
You think so?
This is Yeah,
You
this is
witch.
I think no, I'm saying as in in terms of like trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
I think this is the window for him. I think he could play after this, but in
Mhm.
terms of winning a championship, this is it.
Mm.
This is it. The roster that we just talked about them putting around him. Yeah, they just added Gabe Vincent, who was just in the NBA finals.
Gabe
Um,
Vincent, yeah.
you added Rui. You just added Christian Wood, right?
D'Angelo
You brought back
Russell.
Vanderbilt. You brought back Russell, right? So you brought back some of these core guys. You picked up Tarion Prince, picked up
Mhm.
Austin Reeves, who was playing well, who's been playing really well.
I
But
never go forget
picked up
this.
Cam Reddish. I don't think Cam Reddish is gonna be able to have a spot on the Lakers.
You don't think Cam Reddish is gonna make the team?
I don't think he's gonna.
He has to. He's a Clutch Sports client. He has to.
He's not playing. I think he's gonna make the team, but he's not playing.
You don't think he'll play?
Yeah, I just don't. I
For
just
what?
don't see
Terry and Prince is better than him.
Terry
for
Prince
what
is
he
a great
does
vet.
at his role. At his role,
Yeah, at his
right?
role, he's better than
good
him.
at his role,
What's
right?
Cam?
Yeah.
What Cam gonna come in and do? Be a spot up? Terry and Prince is a spot
Cam
up.
is
Play
Cam is
defense.
gonna he's gonna
Cam
be
don't play
coming in
defense.
trying to compete with Austin Reeves. Like
yeah.
that's what he's gonna be trying to do. And
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is just getting better. He's young,
Right.
like
He's having
he's-
dinner at LeBron's house. He's not going anywhere.
I remember when he got traded to the Knicks. I remember when he got traded to the Knicks and he was like, they asked him like, what do you want like for your career? He's like, I feel like I could be a star. I feel like I could be like Paul George. I'm like, boy, you are still lost in the sauce, bro. Find a role and
Yeah,
carve
that's
it
where
out.
you at. You're not in high school no more. You can't do that. You can't
No.
do that. You're not a give me the ball and let me go get a bucket. Nobody wants you to do that.
Nobody
We
wants
got
you
younger
to
players
take
that could do that.
7 dribbles. We don't need you to take 7
Yeah.
dribbles. We need you to take 1. 2
and I
Yeah.
think
fast
that's
break.
gonna be that's
Be a
gonna be
spot
the
up
issue for him.
or that's it. If he don't become a spot up, that's it. That's it.
What if he just start cutting with LeBron? I mean, LeBron make a lot of people great, right? What if he just, become a
True.
slasher?
I just think it's just a rotation, right? You look at Braun, 1, Christian Wood, 2, AD, 3, Vanderbilt, 4, Russ, 5, Rui, 6, Vincent, 7, right? Prince, 8, Reeves, 9.
Prince is not in rotation.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
Nah, I think he's a vet. I think he got signed to play the vet role. I think they would give Cam Reddish an opportunity over Prince. I mean, why wouldn't you? He's younger.
That's 9, right? You have Jackson Hayes. I didn't even mention him.
Henny don't think he's gonna play.
Don't mention that.
He might not. He's young.
Did you mention
Still
Christian
got
Wood?
a lot to learn. I did.
Yeah, second.
We're at 10. We're at like 10. How many players are
Terry
gonna be
and
in
Prince.
rotation?
Terry and Prince is 29. He is not a vet. That boy
disrespectful.
is.
My bad.
That boy's playing. That boy
He's
is playing.
playing.
He's playing, boy.
He's
You
Yeah,
see,
he's
yo,
playing.
I don't like him. You see, Knicks was streaking on wins. He came in and had a career of his life.
He went perfect.
Career high.
He
He
didn't
went
miss.
hurt. He did not miss.
He had like 40.
Oh my
He
god! I don't
really
want to
didn't
talk
miss
about
the whole game. Like he shot
I want to talk
100%
about
or like 95%.
I'm glad he on the West
Yeah.
Coast.
He shoots
So that-
38 from 3, 46 from the field.
He might
He's
take
playing.
Vanderbilt's spot because Vanderbilt can't shoot a lick.
Can't rebounds. though.
But yo,
He just got signed. Vanderbilt just got signed though. Vanderbilt just got a contract from the Lakers just now.
He plays
Yeah.
defense. He plays defense.
Right.
You could put him
You
on
see
the
what
guard.
he did? They face guarded Curry. Changed the
Vanderbilt.
whole series. But I did not see that coming. They put Vanderbilt on Curry. I did not see that coming.
I think the Lakers
did not see that coming.
are athletic, young, and long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what you asked for. That's all you asked for. And can decently shoot, but we'll see.
We're
To be
shooters.
determined. To be determined. You know how they get. People
I feel
start
like the Lakers are
disappearing.
gonna. I feel like they're gonna dominate.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like
You got
they're
them as
gonna
a 1
dominate.
seed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Question: Who's your starting starters?
For
starts?
the Lakers?
Lakers. Who starts?
I mean, D'Angelo Russell, Austin
Uh-huh.
Reeves,
Mhm.
Vanderbilt. He just got the deals. He's starting. Vanderbilt, LeBron, and AD. I think that's the best lineup. I think that would be the best lineup.
Okay.
Because Vanderbilt
got the
allows
same person?
Vanderbilt he started the whole time since he got traded, right? Half the season. He started half season. He guarded the best player. He guarded Curry when they swept them in the playoffs. He guarded him. So the entire time played him well too. So I think it's gonna. I don't think you can sit Vanderbilt. I don't think AD gets his wish of playing the 4. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense.
I would love for AD to play the 4.
Unless you plan on putting LeBron James on a minutes restriction. Unless LeBron's playing like 30 minutes a game, right? Or 28 minutes a game or some crazy something like that.
Yeah.
And
which he needs to. I would agree with that. Which he needs
to preserve him.
And he can because he meets the criteria for being able to be load managed.
Yeah.
So yeah. I if he's able to do that, if they're able to minutes restriction, put him on minutes restriction or whatever the case may be with LeBron James, I think Christian Wood is gonna end up playing 20 minutes a game, balling next to them, stretch 5, balling. Like when LeBron's not playing, LeBron fits the exception for the player policy. He's over 35. He played a bunch of games, so he can actually sit. I'm sure they're gonna let him sit out games. He's probably gonna end up playing 60 games, 65 games, just so he could be
just so he could get first team, and second team, and I'll be eligible for that.
Yeah,
maybe MVP.
So now,
yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
MVP?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, what would another championship do for LeBron's legacy?
Nothing. It'll still be the same.
Or what would a championship? Who would it be bigger for? Who would a championship be bigger for? Stephen Curry or LeBron James?
Oh, definitely Curry.
Yeah, Steph for sure.
Draymond Green said they got 2 more rings in them, right? So let's just say he gets to 5
in the
6.
NBA.
Yeah, he says.
Oh, I thought they was going to Aliante. For some rings.
Nah.
The jeweler. Oh, okay.
Nah, he said he got 2 more championships wins, and let's just say he gets to 6. He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore with 5. I mean, I think he's on the Mount Rushmore now, but he's on the Mount Rushmore with 5. He gets 6. Is this his era over LeBron? Does it become his era, or are they sharing it, or it's like their era?
I personally think they share the era.
You think they share the era?
Yeah, for sure.
For
what?
Let the LeBron James fans hear you, or don't let the Michael Jordan fans hear you that LeBron's sharing eras.
They have to share. They are sharing the era. If Curry has 4 rings, and so does LeBron. LeBron was projected to be the best player in the world, right? He was projected to be that, right? Coming out of high school, he had the highest expectations ever coming out of high school, right? Curry didn't have those expectations. Nobody saw Curry being a 2-time MVP, first unanimous MVP in NBA history, winning two out of his 4 championships were without top 75 players, right? 2 of them. He won multiple championships without top 75 players,
and
right?
He won against LeBron.
3 of them were against LeBron.
That's tough.
So they absolutely share this era.
Henny?
You done? Curry could get 10 rings and he still wouldn't be top 1, top 2 player in the NBA.
Of all time?
Of all time.
You sound nutty.
Yeah, you sound
10 rings.
If rings were a thing, then Bill Russell would be that.
Yeah, but it's not just rings, right? It's the difficulty of the rings, right? It's the difficulty of winning the championship. LeBron James got there 12 times.
I believe so.
And I think that's a feat. That's a feat for you to get there, right? And But for him to win 6 rings in LeBron James era, can you sit there and say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan? In that case,
I can. Oh, not. I mean, of course, not the ring comp, obviously, but that's why you take the whole as a whole.
right? So
I take the whole as a whole. I don't think Curry's gonna be all-time scorer, all-time rebounder, all-time assists in the top. At least is he even top 10 in any of those categories? He's not even top 10 in
but
scoring.
he's the best 3-point shooter of all time. He's at top of that
Cool.
category. Right. They're two different type of players, though. Curry's
Agreed.
Curry doesn't rebound. So why would I expect Curry to be top 10 in rebound? Right?
Agreed. Exactly.
Why?
So how could he
Why
be?
would I
How could
expect
he be?
him to be there?
LeBron
That's like me
James-
saying is LeBron James at the top of the 3-point shooting thing?
He might be.
yeah,
Is he?
LeBron
And that's
got
the funny part. He might be. That's the funny
LeBron's a,
part. So I can
He's
never,
not.
I can never,
Curry's at the top.
LeBron got a 2K
well, yeah, he's
career.
the top.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
at
what I'm
the
saying.
top?
LeBron got a 2K career. So it's like he could never. It could never happen. At most, he could be 3. At most.
So this is LeBron James era to you, and this is and even
Oh,
with,
absolutely. Absolutely.
With if Stephen Curry was to gain another ring or 2, you still think that this would be LeBron James era.
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
more rings than LeBron in his era, and this is his era. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting take.
Beating him multiple times.
3 times.
So can we say it was Tim Duncan's era? Or they shared the era with Kobe? Can we say that? Because they got the same amount of rings? Or was it Kobe's era?
Well, I will say
You can say they shared the era. I would say that.
If we're gonna compare Kobe and Tim Duncan, which you can, right? Who era was it? I would say, I would say Tim Duncan, only because he was more consistent throughout his years of winning with his team.
And I agree with you, but nobody ever has said it's Tim Duncan's era.
I just said it.
Right. Well, before obviously before
But the point is, you still got to think about it, right? It's not just like, no, you just brushed Tim Duncan out. It's Kobe's era. You see how he was able to say that, and it's a valid point.
You can't conceptualize Curry being the best player of all time.
But there's been consistency with Stephen Curry, though. There's been consistency, right? Look how many places LeBron has had to go to be able to achieve that feat.
Yeah, but he's gone and won. Everywhere LeBron's gone and he's won, right?
I'm not saying he didn't, right? But I'm just saying, look at the consistency of Curry. Curry has done it one franchise.
What's more consistent than going somewhere and winning? What's more consistent than going somewhere and winning?
Going somewhere with top players, yeah. A lot of people you could do that.
There's top players, but he's the best of those top players. That says a lot.
It doesn't mean
when a better player came to Curry's team, he became the second best. Regardless if he let him or not, he became the second best player on that team.
And that is arguable. You could argue that. That's not an actual.
Not with a Finals MVP, you can't.
Yes, you can. Because there's so many things that Curry brings to the game that are like intangible that make that team better. That team don't run without him.
They don't reward intangibles.
I think the individual player. I think Kevin Durant is a better individual player. I think Steph Curry is the most important player on that team. Was KD on?
Right.
I mean, yes. If you want to line them up, if they in a combine, KD will look better. But the way that the gravity that Steph has is second to none in NBA history.
And you put Kevin Durant at that time on a team with LeBron, Kevin Durant was going to average more points than LeBron too.
That's true.
Doubt it. I doubt it.
He was.
Highly doubt it.
Stop it.
I doubt it.
Stop it. He was. He was.
Stop.
What year was this?
Sorry, he only averaged more points than him when they played against each other.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He averaged more
Highly
points than them
doubt
when he
it.
played against each other.
That's
Highly
tough.
doubt it.
Come on. He would have averaged. This is what Kevin Durant does. That's his specialty. He scores.
hmm
He hasn't had the
And
ability to be as healthy, but that's what he does. He scores. Kevin Durant rolls out of bed and gets you 25. Easy.
so does Kyrie.
Efficiently.
So does
Efficiently.
Kyrie.
I think
So does Kyrie.
it's a good and good conversation to have. Um, it's very exciting. It's gonna be very exciting to see how this next season plays out and the following, to see who ends up being a champion. And see how these eras and legacies are written. Going forward though, who do you think is the next guy that's going to dominate this era? I think Henny has said it earlier, but I could let him. I'll let
Yeah,
him go off right now. Go
yeah.
ahead, bro.
I got Anthony Edwards. He just he's just a natural talent. He's he has the ability to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take over games, score at will, play make. He has like he has the star ability. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like people gravitate towards interviews he has and his personality. I think that's part of being a guy in the era. You know, of course you got to win rings, but it'll get there once he leaves Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely got Anthony Edwards. Feel like he can be the face of the NBA,
Right.
and it would be in good hands. You know.
Chris, who you got? Or what you think about? What do you think about that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I could agree. I feel like Ant just has. I'm agreeing, but I have someone in
Mm-hmm,
mind for
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
as
You can
well.
see his
But
perspective
I
of
just,
why it could be Ant.
yeah. I just think Ant just has that persona. Like he just carries himself like he's that guy,
Mm-hmm.
and not a lot of players do that, right? They have all of the
Mhm.
abilities, but they just have those little things about them that let them know that move over. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ant has that about him, right? So if Ant, I could see Ant being the face of it,
But Ant would
without
have
a
to
doubt.
dominate. Like I don't see Ant dominating and then dominate. Well, I don't want to go to my point. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, because I don't want to go into what I'm going to go into. So, Chris, you go into who you think could take over the next era, and I go after you.
So I think it's gonna be Luka.
Think it's gonna be Luca?
I just think that I think Luca is offensively, I think he is unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Unstoppable. Right. And I just think he's only gonna get better. He's so young, shooting from step backs from 30, 35 feet. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you get to the rim, he's a mismatch, right? He knows how to see the floor, does it all. He rebounds. His only knock is probably defense, but he just brings so much to the table. He
I
could
feel
do
like
everything.
it's very difficult for a mid market team. I would consider Dallas a mid market team. Um, to have a player like that. I mean, LeBron did it with Cleveland, but he really didn't turn up until he went to Miami and became that guy. I think that's important. I think where you play basketball is
Right.
important. So that's
Extremely.
why I
Right.
disagree with the
That's what
Anthony
I felt
Edwards
about
thing.
Anthony Edwards.
I disagree with
We
the
not to
Anthony
leave.
Edwards thing. However, if Luca played in for the Lakers, which could happen, I feel like he'll be the face. And which goes to my point of who I think will take over the next era. I think it's gonna be Giannis. Wherever Giannis goes, if Giannis goes to a big market in the next season or so, when he's 29, about to be 30, and he plays another 6, 7 years in a major market city, winning championships. If Giannis wins another 2 championships, 3 championships in a city that don't have a championship and it's a major city, I think
No, that doesn't have a championship in years. It's
in
been
years
years.
hasn't had a championship
Just
in
just to,
years.
just to throw just to throw some
Just to
teams in
throw,
there.
I'm just saying. I think that would solidify him. If he does what he's doing in Milwaukee, in a city like Chicago, if you go to Chicago, right, and he turns Chicago around with Zach LaVine, right? Let's say he goes to Chicago with Zach LaVine and whoever else is there, right? And they win championships. I think that could solidify him. If he goes to New York Knicks, that could solidify him as it being his era, and he get 4 chips. He gonna have to. Giannis needs 4. He needs 3, 4 at least to be. I think anybody, whoever era it is, they need at least 4. They need 4. Who could get
Giannis
4 rings?
Giannis
Right.
was going to be my choice, to be honest. He
Yeah.
was. But he's a little older.
28.
Right.
Yeah.
He's about to be
That's-
30 soon. He's
That's
gonna be
older.
30 soon.
You should be with, like, I could
Like-
agree why you say Luka, because he's of that age.
Yeah.
He's younger.
And then I feel like Giannis' knees are starting to give a lot of issues. So it's like I feel like further in his career, he's not going to be able to be as physical.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to have to learn to play a different way.
LeBron
Because
did.
he did.
I agree. He's not gonna be able to keep doing the same thing right now, right? Because
LeBron showed parts of it. I don't think Giannis is showing like he can do other things yet.
And even before LeBron won the chip, LeBron was still considered the best player in the NBA before he was winning championships.
Giannis was considered.
Right.
Giannis was considered the best player before he won a championship. He won an MVP. He won an MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. You're saying he was considered the best player. He knocked off KD and then beat the Suns. He was considered the best player before he won a championship.
I guess.
Who was better than
This
him?
is the same. It's in the same year. You're right, but it's in the
They
same
were
year.
still calling at that point. People were still saying LeBron was still the best
People
player in
still
the
say
NBA.
LeBron now, but I'm just saying, if we take LeBron out, because it's a LeBron fandom, right? It's a LeBron fandom and delusion
and era.
right? So if we just take that fandom away, we just focus on that. I think Giannis is. He was considered the best player,
Right? But he was considered the best player, and then
KD
between
too.
then, but in between then and now, nobody has been like Giannis is at the top of the list.
What are you saying? Giannis was finished top 3 in MVP votes every year.
Stand that. But I'm just saying the talk hasn't been there.
He has 2 MVPs.
See,
Back to back MVPs and a defensive player of the year and a championship,
just saying,
all in like 3 years. What are we saying?
My point. I'm not saying he's not. Let me not say he's in the talk, right? But nobody is going to definitively say every year Giannis is the best player in the NBA. Nobody's saying that.
I disagree.
Those years before LeBron was winning championships, people were definitively saying LeBron and Kobe were the 2 best. Like,
but
LeBron was
have
the
been
best.
Kobe because Kobe was winning championships during that time.
And some people still had LeBron as the best player in the league.
What Kobe won a championship. Kobe almost had a 3-peat. He won back-to-back championships, and
He did
in that same time frame. I think that's important. You got Luka, I got Giannis, Henny got Ant Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
I guess. I wanted to before we move on to before we go too far, I want to talk about your boy what's his name? Dame.
Oh boy.
Dame dollars to Miami. Every pod we're gonna keep asking, is it gonna happen? Henny just left. He said, I'm tired of talking about Dame. Dame dollars is overrated in the mind of Henny. He's overrated. He's not that good.
Damed out.
He damed out.
I don't know,
Y'all
man.
can go ahead.
It sounds like it looks like it's possible. Now I'm hearing that they're saying that Portland wants Miami to just empty out all of their assets to be able to get Dame. They want them to flush everything. They want everything.
If you Miami, do you stand pat or do you capitulate and give them all your assets?
No.
Not
The way the rumors around basketball talk is working, Portland has no upper hand, and they should be ashamed of themselves for even trying to delay the process,
right.
because by drafting Scooter Henderson, they said, okay, we're rebuilding. Didn't even give Dame a heads up or even a chance. Like they literally rebuilding by using their pick instead of getting a player for Scooter Henderson. So that's disrespectful for him. Me personally, I think he stayed way longer than he had to. He should have been
Mm-hmm.
requested a trade
Mm-hmm.
probably years ago. But he wanted to stay, which is cool, and I think they should have respected him by at least trying while he's still in his prime. He's literally in his prime, and they're not catering to that. And it's unfair for him. They should take whatever they could get. They have Scoot. They lucky they got the second pick. They lucky they got the second pick.
Third.
Take a couple of firsts and get done with it.
I don't think
And
Miami can even give them
call it
all
a
that.
day.
Like Miami can't give them much. So it's like if
Right.
Miami can't give you much, then
Just take the L. Take the L.
you don't have to take the L, right? Because there's going to be. I would have to call his bluff, right? Because of the new NBA player policy,
Mhm.
I will have to call Dame's bluff. What are you gonna do? Are you really not going to play? You can't not just play no more. You can't just sit players. The era of John Wall getting traded to Houston Rockets and sitting out the whole year, that ain't happening no more. That's dead.
He never said he wasn't gonna play. He said the only two training camps
You said the only two
He's
trading camps he's gonna go to is Portland and Miami, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He has to show up. If you don't show up within 30 days or some shit like that, then you are withholding services, right? So he has to come.
You're saying if he's traded to another team besides Miami.
Yes, if he's traded to another team besides Miami, he doesn't have the upper hand here.
He also there was I don't know how true it is, but they were saying like he would, if he's not traded to Miami, he's requesting a trade to Miami. Wherever he goes, he's going to request a trade to Miami.
Okay, and if he don't get the trade, what's going to happen? Is my point. He has at the way what's happening now with this player policy, and I keep mentioning it, is they're forcing players to play. You are not going to be able to just sit out games anymore at a time.
Correct.
So if you keep that into like why do we just ignore the fact like they don't have you're under contract. He don't control his future.
You absolutely you actually kind of sort of right. They can trade him somewhere, but also what GM is going to trade for a player that doesn't want to be there? That they know they could play, but if you know that player doesn't want to be there, he could show up and play, but how seriously going to take the game? He could do the bare minimum. He could play a game, ask for a sub me out. Not to say he's going to do that, but there's ways around just playing 65 games and showing up.
I agree.
There's
As a GM,
destroy his career. If he gets traded and just asks for a trade to Miami, it's going to destroy his career and credibility, and that's going to be worse than him not playing.
I'm just saying, as a GM, like to Henny's point, know what he wants.
I don't think it matters. Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
But who's going to trade for him knowing this? Who's going to trade for him knowing that?
Every player always gets to request where they want to go. I want to go here.
On your
Kevin
contract
Durant,
situation.
I want to go here. He went there.
But look what they gave up. Look what they gave up for. Okay, when KD went to Golden State, he went as a free agent. When he went to Brooklyn, he went as a free agent. Sign and trade. When he went to the Suns, he got traded for two young players, young studs, and 4 first-round picks. 4 of them things. And like picks, pick swaps or whatever the case may be. A lot of them. So what are we? So my thing is, remember last year during the time where KD was saying that he wanted to leave, it's either gonna be him or he was like, fire this person, fire that person. They didn't trade him. They didn't trade him until they got what they wanted. They got a lot for KD. So and he had to play because he had.
But
4
he
years
actually
left
got
on
to
his
pick
deal.
what he wanted to. He picked where he wanted.
Yeah, he picked.
Yeah, but where he picked had the resources to get him. If they didn't have the
Correct.
resources, he wasn't going.
Right.
And he
So
had
I'm
to
saying
play.
nobody else, if they know they want to go to Miami, nobody else is going to trade for him. And he said that he would show up in Portland, so he will show up in Portland.
I just don't
And
believe
that's
that.
it.
I don't believe that nobody would trade
Right,
for him.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I think
I wouldn't.
it's not enticing. It's not enticing if you know that he
That's
doesn't
the
care
point.
to play
If you
there.
know he wants to be somewhere.
So let me ask you a question, right? If you're the New Orleans Pelicans, right, and you trade Zion, right, for Dame and 4 picks, right? It works for Portland, and let's say, yeah, it works for Portland. Whatever the case may be, Dame is not going to show up to go play with CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. I don't believe that. If he gets traded to Chicago, he's not going to go play with DeRozan and Zach LaVine. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Obviously, it has to make sense, right? If they structure it around him and to make it make sense, I don't believe that he's just gonna be like, I want to go to Miami. I don't want to play for no other franchise. I want to go to Miami. I feel like that's a little bit overblown. I don't see the power.
Why wouldn't you respect it though? Like, who's gonna?
Why?
I'm not giving up. You're giving up. Say somebody does do that. 4 picks. You're giving up 4 picks for a person who's not going to resign because they don't want to be there. Who's not going to probably take it seriously because they don't want to be there, and who's only thinking about Miami because they don't want to be there.
Well, it doesn't matter if he doesn't resign because at the end of his contract, his career is pretty much done. He probably gonna have another contract 2 years or 1 and 1, right? He ain't gonna sign another 4-year contract, right? He's
and now you're gonna mess up your future for Damian Lillard.
I mean,
like,
if you can make it work, if you have another superstar on your team, yes. If I'm Minnesota, I would trade Karl Anthony Towns and whatever other picks I got for Dame and Ant Edwards in the backcourt with Rudy Gobert. That could be a championship contending team. Anthony Edwards, you just said he'd probably be the best player in the NBA. So best player in the NBA with a top 3, top 4, top 5 point guards in his entire generation. In his prime still. That works. Is Dame gonna say, no, I don't want to play with Ant Edwards. I want to go to Miami? I don't
he's
see
been saying that. He's been saying that.
I don't see it. But look.
He said it so much that the NBA told him to stop.
Stop saying it. I don't know. We just gonna have to see. It's just one of those things. It's gonna be really interesting. A couple weeks away from training camp. I'm excited. Couple weeks away from the season starting. Almost a month away from the season started. I'm excited. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to subscribers. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, share.
Almost to 300.
We're almost there. We're moving all up to these numbers, cracking these numbers. Yeah, man. Eyesonpodium podcast, man. You guys gonna say anything for the people before we sign off?
Thank you.
He had nothing. Hey, shout out to Dion Prom and for the
a little college. Shout out to Colorado, man.
In the light of Dion Prime, give me my theme music. Give me my theme music.
HB don't be on the internet. He don't know what we doing. He had
Tryna speak more. I don't read no comments. I don't care what they say. Time and place, we talk about it. Last night I was wildin'. Made 2K over 2K. It's a new day and I'm back to problem. Bank account be crowded. By next June, need 5 rooms, soundproof. Watch them doubt it. Hey, they try to talk me out here. I done wasted some greatness just sitting there trying to think about it. I go jump a ring, give all of my homies rollies. I'm a hot pick, rolling with me, gon' be low key. Best believe it's more of us, but today I'm dolly. Grab me by the hand, damn, she don't even know.